The problem with a lot of the AI tools and a lot of the innovation in insurtech is, frankly, without reinventing workflows and how work gets done, it's really hard to layer in AI while also solving for some of the legacy issues the industry has in terms of connectivity and incentives. In order for AI to automate and in order to move or transform truly, you need to break down both what people do, their jobs, as well as the requests into little tasks. So essentially think of a job as a combination of different tasks and think of every request that a customer has as a combination of different tasks. So take a reshop policy that could have 15 tasks, anything from picking up the customer call to finding the information to shopping different carrier portal, as well as communicating that back to the customer. By breaking down jobs as well as requests into tasks, this becomes a task optimization problem. Now you could layer in AI agents, you could solve for the legacy issues, and you could make sure your best people are only working on tasks that require the best people to work on. To give you an example, when we look at the different types, and by the way, we have identified over 200 tasks that an insurance agency has to deal with across 30 to 40 types of requests, really only maybe 10 to 20% of those tasks require a license. But if you look at the request as a whole, over 50% of them would require a license. So by both breaking down the tasks, jobs into tasks, as well as breaking down the roles into tasks, now we could optimize the efficiency while also ensuring that we have a higher customer satisfaction, we're compliant, and we'll make sure we could deal with the connectivity issues that the industry has and the legacy issues by making sure the human, the AI, and automation all work together in a harmonious way. And that's what is a needed foundation for efficiency.
Kovu OS, for the first time I've ever seen in my entire career, and I'm just glad to have lived to see it, is that the atomic units of customer service are now explicit and visible to everyone from the customer-facing agent or service deliverer, all the way to C-level and up even into investor level and board level. The atomic unit of customer service is now visible. It is manageable. It is basically, it's been decomposed into its constituent parts. And each task level can find its most efficient and highest anticipated customer satisfaction home on a task level. We receive a customer request just like any small agency, any massive aggregator. And that customer request, would be quite unusual to see something new. We've seen millions of these, and they can be classified. So that only makes sense, right? So when we receive a request, this could be in the middle of the night before any agent ever wakes up. We've already identified the customer journey, basically married to the customer request itself. So we've mapped the journey. Our system, both Kovu OS and Vero inside of it, now pick from thousands of playbooks to say, this playbook is the optimal journey for this particular customer, and with their history, the context of their policies, and basically sort of an account view all the way down to the individual request itself. Once we've chosen a playbook, now it's basically time to move down a layer and determine within the agent stack, which could be everything from our AI agent to offshore up into the most expensive, most experienced, gifted, highly paid agents that on staff. There's a combination of all the tasks that have been mapped to that customer based on that playbook. And the question is, on every level of the task and overall customer journey, what is the optimal assignment? Essentially, how do you map that entire journey to optimize unit economics and simultaneously customer experience? So you can't have one without the other. You destroy experience, you have no economics to optimize, and vice versa if it's only optimal. It's task level deconstruction combined with an AI layer that sits separately and optimizes the routing on the task level. Now you're starting to compound cost savings, and that's where we get to our upwards of 80% reduction in basically the cost of servicing an insurance policy. So how is Kovu uniquely situated in this unique time? First, maybe I'll start with LLMs. Access to proprietary data is a differentiator. It's one thing to basically scrape, search, what have you, ingest publicly available information about what might be available at carrier X, carrier Y, carrier A, B, or C, and have some general information that while accurate is maybe not precise enough and not a deep dive, which basically it's not at the level of value that a policyholder will expect from their local independent agency. So we've solved for that. We partner with your local independent agency, and by managing their workflows, we have access to our own basically workflow data, customer outcomes, carrier feedback, et cetera, et cetera. So you've got all these signals that are not possible unless you're inside the customer journey, inside the customer workflow of individual agencies. So now combine that with the fact that we have millions of customer journeys that we've mapped over our short lifespan here. We have access to how to redesign and re-architect insurance distribution and service sales support workflows. So we own the atomic units of the customer data and their journey. We have deconstructed every single task that builds up towards those customer journeys. We can mix and match them, we can move them, we can edit them in real time. This is beyond anything a CRM or even website design. This is on the fly, able to basically reconstruct upwards of 1,400 variables on the spot when we discover that there's a better outcome for a customer if we just change that workflow, just by one segment, one task. When you start to talk about a human-AI partnership inside a workflow, and you've deconstructed every task and the expectations that ride along with that task, the context that rides along with that task, now you are asking AI to do what it truly can do, and that is basically extract labor cost out of that process, and yet make the licensed agent feel like they're superhuman. To me, this is a win for the client, for the policyholder. It's a win for the agent. It's a win for the company. It's a win for the agencies. And it basically collapses the costs and really decompresses margins in what has been a pretty tough business to make money in.
Kovu OS is, to me, the most important product launch in our company history. And the reason for it is because it's what brings the entire stack together. First, what is Kovu Stack? Kovu Stack includes the software stack, which has OS as the heart of it, Vero, the intelligence layer, or all the agentic AI that we use in different parts of our operation, and Kovu Connect, which kind of solves for the connectivity layer between insurance distribution and the carrier's balance sheet. So it's not really a matter of AI or human, it's what is the most orchestrated way or organized or optimum way of AI and humans to work together while ensuring a high customer satisfaction. We're happy to share more news. We're gonna have more updates coming in soon, more feature requests, so stay tuned.